For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za. It is good to be powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. So Orlando Pirates 3, Baroka 1 in the Netbank Cup. It means Orlando Pirates progress to the next round of the Netbank Cup. It is possible that Orlando Pirates might get to a third consecutive final if my mathematics is mathsing. They might go to the third consecutive final, but of course we'll cross that bridge when we get there. They are on the trajectory of getting to that point in the Netbank Cup because they are on to the next round now. The complication about this competition is that at some point at the end of this weekend, we will not know what to do when we are drawing the names of the teams with the situation near Royal AM. In fact, it will not only affect one game that they have not played or one team, it's two teams now waiting. The one that was supposed to play against them and another team as well that's supposed to play whoever wins against them. It's going to be a third team at the end of this weekend who is in limbo waiting to find out what happens to Royal AM. This perhaps will expedite. It means that the PSL will have to speed up the way that they're dealing with the issue here Royal AM. So that's the Netbank Cup, and the context is that asizuyazi uba sizalithini eligama le-Royal AM versus whoever they were supposed to play versus whoever's supposed to play whoever wins between them versus someone else now. So it's a very complicated weekend for the Netbank Cup. And of course, there are sponsors to this, which is Netbank. What are they going to say to the Premier Soccer League? Apologies for taking your time.
No problem.
What did you make of the game, Lindo Pep?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I think Bulisi technical director and chairman.
Yes, sir.
Bulisi no Cardoso ngara.
Yes, sir.
Bulisi no just. Mr. Nkeu, congratulations to Orlando Pirates. Congratulations to the players. But for me, Kulego, they play typical tournament football. This is why they always do well in tournament football. It's because the simple tactical format, it's not even tactical in my opinion. It's just a tactical, it's just an approach,
sure,
right? In how they approach the game. Sipo China has the ball, always quickly plays the ball to the wingers. That's typical tournament football. You don't want to keep the ball. Even when we send messages to players, don't keep the ball too much because we might concede a goal. We just need to win this match and focus on the next one. This is how they approach this game, in my opinion, Orlando Pirates. Because in 2-0, when they were leading the game, you did not see control. You did not see game management. And those are things, those are strategies and systems that you use in a league system. If they genuinely want to compete in the league, they're going to have to understand our references. How do you score the goal? How did we build up? How did we dominate the game? How did we manage the game? How did we get a result in the previous game? So for me, yes, they've been consistent. Yes, they've been doing well. We did say that they're going to struggle in the second round of the season. But for me, you're looking at the tactical approach, missing too many injuries for sure. But so many players are lacking confidence, in my opinion. I think it happens in every team in a duration of the season.
That was quite clear in the first 20 minutes. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like there was clearly a lack of confidence. I don't know whether I have this natural question, Yoguti. Now that they scored 3-1, doesn't that bring a little bit of that confidence back? Of course, to Umabasa, it brings it back. Of course, to Tito, who surprisingly, even though there's a hat-trick scorer, he probably should have also been a man of the match, Utito, with the way that they control the game. At least with those two key players, they got their confidence back. But you could see the first 20 minutes, there was a lack of confidence.
Yeah, I'm convinced with myself that Tito Maswanganyi is a generational talent. Because for me, what he did, in the last 3 games, they've given the man of the match to Makaula, even to him, Umabasa. For me, he's been the best player for Orlando Pirates in the last 3 matches. In terms of controlling the game, initiating the game, creating goal-scoring opportunities. Today, we see another element of him. He didn't have a responsibility to go down by a collector. They got Joyner in the last third. Very aggressive in how he approaches the last line. Today, he understood that he had to take responsibility because really, he's not coming up. He's not showing up. It's understandable as well. Inconsistent performances from younger kids, but the boy is talented. But for me, in the last 2-3 games, he hasn't been showing up. But I think we need to motivate the boy to say, you've got it in you, you are talented, you've got the right psychological profile, he's got the right lifestyle off the pitch, which is something to encourage. Right, Nkule? The boy will come again. But to Tito Maswanganyi, until you check at the first goal, he's the one that comes with the secondary pass. He drives into the box, one touch finish. This is something that we need to speak about again. Do you genuinely need numbers in the box? Or is there a variety in how you need to attack? If we check Orlando Pirates, there's not too many numbers in the box, but it's about the decision making that they make in the box. Dion Hotter plays the right pass. Matete Maswanganyi makes the right run as well. That Pelutito Maswanganyi plays that pass, he makes it a run into the D-line. That run is very important. That man run because it don't see team fits him. Look at the second goal as well. Excellent pass. This is his strength. Maybe Dlamini, they're profiling him wrong. And this is something that they've changed their tactical structure. Last season, they used to play exactly like this. Ucheke Pirates Lala, they started with a 3-4-3, right? With one fullback going wide, which is Utino Van Rooyen and Hagi Touchline. This is how they used to play last season. Then they employed a new coach, Carlos Pez. They changed this tactical structure. Now they started attacking with bold fullbacks. If you check last season, they always had a winger and a fullback. Then Balete double number 10, which is, in my opinion, the strength of Udlamini is not to play deeper.
Yeah.
I think his best pass is the one that breaks the line, go final third, which is the one I keep a Utito. Utito takes an unbelievable decision. Ufitu Mabasa, Mabasa taps it in. But now, one touch finishes. We need strikers like this. We were set here in the beginning of the season. You said, Lindo Gutle, who is better between Umakhopa and Mabasa? And I had chosen Umakhopa at the time. Because for me, it was about the details that he works without the ball. But with my learning and maximal training and the 6 months that I've been trying to study in terms of his research, the strikers that we used to have, Sean Bartlett, Benny McCarthy, South Africa doesn't need a striker. South Africa needs a striker like that. Yeah, striker that scores goals, 20 goals, guaranteed. Yeah. The boy scored 15 goals last season. Guaranteed 20 goals. The boy stays in the box. Don't underestimate him on one touch finish. Don't underestimate balls that come from a cross and you punish them. It takes tactical ability. It takes the right run. It takes as well the right temperament in the box. You need to always be calm. But for me, Mabasa scores a hat-trick, credit to him, but also credit to Tito Maswanganyi because he made his job very easy. In the beginning of the game, I was saying to him, where's Phil? Right? And we need him to see more. But Utito also didn't have a responsibility of collecting the ball from deep. Ucheko Makaula has the very same responsibility. Mina for mina, second half, in the deeper role. Because for me, Undlondlo, sorry, I mean to say. Yeah. Because there's one thing on Undlondlo. He probably has the ability, but he complicates things. He's got a good range of pass, but he plays it unnecessary sometimes. Good 10 chop. I think it's a coaching thing, in my opinion, because he comes in, he brings a lot of confidence in midfield. He brings ball playing, passing game improved a little bit next to Kabelo Dlamini, as well as Utito Maswanganyi joining late into the box. You're looking at Ution Hoto on and off. For me, the tactical structure Pirates confused some of the players in my opinion. Hoto started on the left, sometimes it was on the right,
and sometimes it was on the left again.
For me, it's
what was that about? Like, is that a player's thing, or you kind of experience as a coach as well? When you see that happening, is it because they're doing something that you ask them to do as a coach, or by Zenzela?
I think for me, in my opinion, the coach is panicking. I think the coach is panicking because you believe in plan A. If plan A doesn't work, you still continue with plan A because it's something that you prepared for.
Yeah. Just on that limited point of we see Hoto on the right and then we see him on the left. And then at some point in the game, of course, they settled. We saw, it's Mufukeng on the left, which is supposed to be, and then Hoto on the right. But when they were doing it in the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, why were they doing it? Like, is it players just doing what Bazenzelo Notanda, or is it the coach saying the first 15 minutes, don't settle in a single position, be interchanging in those positions?
I think that's player decision, Kolego. I think the 4 players who were given the responsibility, because coaches are obsessed with systems and strategies. Right? So for me, I think the players were initiating this. But the idea, the model of how they want to play, the tactical culture says they want to play with 4 attacking midfielders that interchange position because they already have a fullback in wider areas. So they always want to play. So this is what they wanted even against the case of Mamelodi Sundowns. But it was not Aizangs Ipume. Ipume now in this game because in the game they wanted to Tito Nokabelo closer to the box so that they can have width from the fullback and creativity from the other winger. So for me, I think the players did it for themselves because they already have a system and a model of how they want to play. Without the ball, you see, they settled. But it didn't work for the first 22 minutes. They realized it's not working. They reverted back to what they are used to, having 2 wingers that play wide. Sometimes they come in.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up then because we have another game and I'm looking at the time as well. Maybe the most important question I can ask you with the limited time that I have is there a gap closing between the NFD clubs? We saw yesterday, if you saw TS Galaxy and Durban City, of course, Durban City not playing wild football even themselves, but they beat TS Galaxy in extra time. Today we saw NFD club against a premiership team as well. Are you concerned about the gap that exists between these 2 teams, or is it natural, which is the quality? Is that gap going to close anytime soon?
No, the gap won't close anytime soon, Kulego. For me, even how they played Baroka, this is not their style of play. You watch them all the time, week in, week out. They don't play like that. They don't play position-based football. About passing game. Instead, also the profile of the league does not allow them to play like that. right, Nkuleko? The only positive thing is that also the regulation here, NFD, that they need to use under 23 players. For me, exceptional performance from Ukarakaro, Kabelo,
Kgositsile.
Kgositsile, the incredible left footer, as well as the number 8 that came into the second half. I think the balance of the second half, Masaba introduced Abo Mabiliso, as well as the number 8. I think was Sydney Maliba, the one who scored the free kick with the left foot. I think he gave them a lot of control in midfield when he came in. But Maucheka Baroka, the only positive thing is that in their starting lineup, because with teams, they normally by regulation when they play these games, they play older players, Netbank Cup. But now today they played 5 under 23s. Their bench as well is full of under 23 players. So that tells you that they've got under 20, under 21 players, which is this, they are building a team probably for the next season. Baroka always does well in the first division. But in terms of style of play, in terms of quality, that league is not improving in my opinion. Because even when you watch the league from a technical perspective, some of those players are not well enough equipped to even play at the highest level of South African football.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much to Lindo Pep. Thank you very much to you as well for watching us. We're watching Kaizer Chiefs, Chippa United. Well done to Orlando Pirates. They move on to the next round of the Netbank Cup. I think what I've just said at the beginning of this video, and I'll repeat it, this is going to be very interesting what will happen to Royal AM, because I've, working with leagues, being an administrator at amateur football, I've never really encountered this thing where what are you going to do now? Are you going to say Royal AM versus Banban stroke versus Banban stroke versus Banban, or you're just going to have to decide Royal AM is no longer in this competition, and then you have to find a way to play the game that was supposed to be played this weekend. We'll find that out, of course, in the next 72 hours. The PSL is going to have to make a decision one way or another. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times, was suspecting.